Straight ahead on CCX News, Hy-Vee on hold. The grocery store chain postpones plans for Maple Grove. Plus, deals to get people to shop in stores on Black Friday. Deals that this year come with a drink. But first, uncertainty surrounding many local immigrants, a decision looms that could lead to deportation. CCX News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. African groups in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center are calling on the Trump administration to prevent the deportation of immigrants granted temporary protected status, or TPS.
The program allows immigrants in unstable countries to temporarily live and work in the U.S. But as Sonia Goins explains, for these immigrants, it's a time of great uncertainty.
Mike and Alex, people affected by the temporary protective status say if they're sent back to their homeland, it will not only impact their families, but the local economy as well. The African International Market in Brooklyn Park was packed during the lunch hour. You can purchase things like cassava chips and other African treats.
The business is going to get affected, and the community is going to get affected because these guys pay taxes to, keep the community going.
William Vincent is from Liberia and is a U.S. citizen and veteran. However, he's worried about relatives who are affected by TPS or another program known as Deferred Enforced Departure.
Some of these guys got kids that were born here. Now that they can't function, how the kids going to function?
Thousands of immigrants from 10 different countries fall under the TPS policy. This week, the Trump administration announced it would not renew TPS for Haitians. The move set off fear and uncertainty for many people.
They're going through communities from Haiti, it's going to Nicaragua, to Ecuador, then it's going to come to us.
Fata Akwe says African Immigrant Services is advocating for all immigrants impacted by the TPS policy.
We all have that common identity of being immigrants. I think that collectivism and acting together in unity when something is affecting one group shows the force and the power of community.
Last Tuesday, the group African Career Education and Resource Center in Brooklyn Center went to Washington, D.C. to lobby lawmakers and support Representative Yvette Clarke's bill aimed at amending immigration policy.
It's a bill that will be able to lead to permanent residency for those on TPS and DED.
Both groups say something needs to be done sooner rather than later.
If the bills do not get passed for the renewal, please allow the renewal to happen so people can continue to stay here as we find some kind of clear pathway for citizenship for them.
Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Deferred enforced departure for Liberians expires in March. Officials with African Immigrant Services says thousands of Minnesotans could be impacted.
In Golden Valley, a change in plans from the Tennant company. The cleaning equipment maker had been exploring a major expansion at its Golden Valley headquarters, but now a company spokesperson confirms those plans are on hold. She called it a business decision and says the company will explore ways to creatively accommodate growth within its current facility. Plans under consideration earlier this year reportedly included building a 6-story office tower.
In Maple Grove, plans for 2 new Hy-Vee stores are also on hold. Hy-Vee opened its first Minnesota store in New Hope in 2015 and has opened 7 more since then. But the one that's under construction in Robbinsdale may be the last one for a while. Maple Grove City Administrator Heidi Nelson says up until recently, plans were on schedule for construction in Maple Grove in 2018.
They are indeed going to tap the brakes here and kind of recheck the market. And so both of our stores are kind of in that hold position for a while. I know that's not what anybody wants to hear. Right. We continue to, let them know that we're interested. I think particularly from a community support perspective, the store at 101 and Bass Lake Road was really important.
Now, we checked with Hy-Vee headquarters and they were not able to provide a comment today. A debate over whether the Osseo School District should change how it elects school board members is not going away.
Once again, an overflow crowd showed up to voice their opinion on the matter at Tuesday night's board meeting. Some parents feel the board should be elected based on geographic areas instead of the current at-large system. The board is composed of 5 members who live in Maple Grove and 1 from Osseo. None are from the 6 other cities in the district. But other parents feel the current system is working and carving out geographic areas would in some ways take away their voice.
Why this is such a big issue for me is that I have 3 daughters. We're across the district. You know, we can open enroll to different areas. So I want to be able to have a say in those bigger sections. I don't want it to be this little niche because we don't go to schools in our little carved out area.
We're a lot more diverse than just Maple Grove. And I would really like to see it change.
Those in favor of changing the system point to Anoka Hennepin and Minneapolis schools who elect board members based on geographic areas. There is also a proposal to increase the number of Osseo board members from 6 to 7.
Well, Crystal should be a little quieter beginning Saturday morning. A new rule against trains blowing their horns at 2 crossings takes effect then. The quiet zone includes West Broadway and Douglas Drive. It required changing traffic patterns and building medians to keep cars from driving around crossing arms. The horns, though, may still sound in case of emergency.
For some people, the evening before Thanksgiving is a night for bar hopping that's become known as Drinksgiving. For some bars, it is one of the biggest nights of the year. But police are reminding folks they'll have extra officers on the streets, too. They say more options to get home safely, like ride-sharing apps, are helping out.
In years past, we have noticed that there was an uptick in DWIs the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We have seen that number decrease over the past several years, and I really think that correlates with people just being more aware of the dangers of drinking and driving and also taking advantage of those ride-sharing apps.
If you are planning to celebrate, police say make sure your top priority is to get home safely. The unofficial start to the holiday shopping season is nearly upon us.
Well, sure, you can shop online, but plenty of stores will be open early on Friday. And as Delane Cleveland reports, Maple Grove Shops at Arbor Lakes is trying something new to lure back Black Friday shoppers.
You know, it's just a great kickoff to the holiday season.
At the Shops at Arbor Lakes in Maple Grove, the Christmas decorations are up and storefronts are filled with signs advertising their Black Friday specials.
And there's so many great deals to be had, and the weather's going to cooperate, so we're expecting a really great day.
But sometimes great deals aren't enough, which is why the shops decided to try something new this year.
The breweries are so hot nowadays.
For one day only, Maple Grove's Omni Brewing will occupy this vacant retail space and transform it into a pop-up tap room.
Black Friday being a big retail day, we thought we could bring a unique experience to perhaps the spouse that doesn't want to be shopping with their spouse.
From 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., weary shoppers or their bored spouses can stop in for a variety of craft beers and games to keep them entertained.
So even though we are just over 2 years old, there's still a lot of people in the local community that might not know we're here, and this is a great exposure for us.
In turn, the tap room gives people a reason to get off their computers and head to a brick-and-mortar shopping center.
The entertainment aspect of it is so important. You know, you're not going to be able to buy a beer on Amazon.
In Maple Grove,
you know, a couple of beers might loosen the wallet.
Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
If beer wasn't enough incentive to come out on Black Friday, the shops will also offer a $25 gift card to anyone who spends $100 at their stores that day. Still ahead, we head to Cooper High School to meet a standout student who's also a standout athlete.
Plus, we look ahead to this weekend's Turkey Trot boys hockey tournament. That's coming up in Plymouth. We'll have it later in sports.
But first, above normal temperatures for Thanksgiving and that Black Friday shopping. Well, for many people, Thanksgiving means it's time for football. So on this Thanksgiving Eve, we give you a standout student who is also a standout athlete.
That's right. Reporter Shannon Slatton shows us why Phoenix Sproles stands out for much more than just being a stellar athlete.
1st and 10. King looking deep down the right side for Sproles. He's got him.
If you have followed Cooper Hawks football for the past few seasons, you likely got familiar with number 7.
I played wide receiver and free safety.
Team captain Phoenix Sproles inspired players and fans alike with his skill on the football field.
It was amazing just going out every week and going 1-0, winning 9 games in a row. It meant a lot for us.
But the senior is also known for its dedication to the sport and the team he loves.
I broke it.
He played through the end of the season with an injured hand.
So I wrapped it up with a padding and then put black tape over it, and it's perfectly legal, so I played.
And being able to deal with adversity, that's a skill that we really try to teach here at Cooper, is getting some grit.
Teachers can see that grit with everything Phoenix does at Cooper High School. Phoenix was a Spanish immersion student and is still fluent in the language. He is in National Honors Spanish and National Honors English Society. Teachers say he pushes himself in the classroom just like on the football field.
I've been pushing myself very hard these past 4 years academically, never having lower than a 3.8 GPA.
More than anything, teachers say Phoenix is a role model. He is focused, determined, and has a good attitude that will serve him well in high school and beyond.
He is a great kid. Yeah, he understands what a student needs to do to become successful and be successful, which is not always something that shows up in high school students.
In New Hope, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
Phoenix Sproles plans to attend and play football for North Dakota State University next year. Still ahead, how some people plan to work up a sweat on Thanksgiving before their big meal.
But first, down to the wire as Wayzata battles Anoka in a girls hockey thriller. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The girls' hockey season is heating up this Thanksgiving week. A local squad won a thriller on the road. Wayzata playing at Anoka. First period with the Tornadoes on the power play. Loose puck in front, tipped in by Libby Heinrichs, and it's 1-0 Anoka. Later in the first, Wayzata's Maddie McCollin somehow maintains control of the puck through a trio of defenders and scores, and that makes it 1-1. When we fast forward to the third period, just over a minute to play, Wayzata's Alexa Osseo powers her way to the goal and tucks it in for the game-winning goal, and the Trojans win 2-1. Conference play in girls hockey is underway in the Northwest Suburban. The new Champlin Park Coon Rapids co-op team was looking for its first win of the season after a tie and a loss to start the year. The Rebels skating at home against Andover Tuesday night. First period, the Huskies' Peyton Hemp centers a pass to Jamie Nelson. Her shot off the Rebels' goalie and in. It's 1-0 Andover, and that's the score after one. Second period, Gabby Krause emerges from the corner, and she'll skate hard to the net, going 5-hole to score, and Andover is up 2-0. Later in the period, Nelson will skate up the left wing. She centers to Claire Budarak. The puck comes back to Nelson and then back to Budarak, who scores. Senior gives Andover a 3-0 lead through 2 periods. Andover adds another in the third, and they shut out Champlin Park Coon Rapids 4-0. Hopkins Park is off to a strong start. They got a good test against a rival. Former NHLer Sean Podine now coaching the Benilde girls as they played Hopkins Park. Down 1-0 in the first. Hopkins Park standout Kylie Hanley buries that shot and makes it 1-1 after a period. Early in the second, Anna Podine sets up Mandy Nylander. Great goal for BSM, and they lead it 2-1. But the Royals get 2 power play goals a couple of minutes apart late in the second. Mad scramble in front, and it's Charlotte Rich sweeping it in. Hopkins Park now 5-1 on the season. They win it 3-2. The boys hockey season will get started with an exciting weekend of play in Plymouth. The CCX Turkey Trot tournament hosted by Wayzata is Friday and Saturday at Plymouth Ice Center. Wayzata has a lot of seniors this season as they gear up for the Turkey Trot. They came on strong a year ago after a tough regular season, reaching the state tournament by knocking off Edina in the Section 6AA title game. They enjoy hosting this tournament.
It's unbelievable. It's probably the most fun thing besides like making it to the state tournament last year, but we get everyone there. Like a lot of our fans come out, a lot of the other opponents' teams' fans come out. It's just packed rink. Just a great way to kick off the season.
Yeah, I mean our kids are really excited because they've been waiting, to play, and it's a great way to start, and in a tournament format, and at our home rink in front of a lot of fans.
Like Wayzata, Maple Grove was a state tournament team last winter. They lost to Wayzata in the consolation bracket. The Crimson beat the Trojans on the first night of Turkey Trot last season before falling to Holy Family. Maple Grove graduated a lot from that team, but they have some young talent. They too look forward to Turkey Trot.
Oh, it's probably one of the funnest games of the year. You know, everyone's out there banging on the glass, so it's a lot of fun.
So we got 4 really good teams, and it's going to be exciting like it always is. So it's going to be a big crowd, and you know, it's a good way for us to start a season and for kids to get right in it, and so it's a good little tournament.
Edina and Holy Family meet in the first game Friday at 5 o'clock, followed by Wayzata versus Maple Grove. The 2 losing teams from Friday play for 3rd place at 5 o'clock Saturday, followed by the championship at about 7:30. We'll have the Saturday games live for you right here on CCX. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? We posed that question to some local high school athletes.
Probably just going to the grandparents' house and hanging with the cousins and family, grandparents, all of that. So just having a good time.
I don't know, probably just like hanging out with my family. I don't know, eating obviously.
Just be cooking a nice big meal, sit down, have some family time, you know, just kind of relax, watch some football, just low key, just have some good family time.
We always go to my uncle's, our whole like extended family, and just eat, hang out.
Going to Wisconsin, see grandma and grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, you know, chowing down on some pumpkin pie, so we're looking forward to it.
All right, sounds like some good plans. Happy Thanksgiving. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, giving thanks to running.
One local way to boost your heart rate before the Thanksgiving meal. Well, as we head into the Thanksgiving weekend, it is one of the busiest times of the year for local retailers.
Definitely a flower shop is driven by holidays, so we're very busy on Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day.
Cardell Floral in Crystal is celebrating its own big milestone this holiday season. The shop is marking 50 years in business and will kick off its celebration on Small Business Saturday. That's this Saturday, with some cake for all of its customers. We will have more on this family business coming up on Monday evening on CCX News. And finally, we all know the benefits of exercise, so why not give thanks with a Thanksgiving Day run or walk?
The 12th annual Thanksgiving Day Giving Thanks 5K walk and run kicks off Thursday morning in Maple Grove. This is video from when the event was held in St. Paul. The nonprofit Charities Challenge holds holiday run walks each year to raise the level of healthy activity in people's lives. And this is a great way to practice gratitude as well.
People want to share Thanksgiving morning with a brisk walk or run with family and friends, and then go enjoy the day more.
The event begins and ends at Clatta's Irish Pub on Main Street in Maple Grove, and if you'd like to take part, arrive by 7:30 Thursday morning to register. They're expecting about 250 people. That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And have a wonderful holiday weekend.